Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hotel Dropouts. In continuation from our last episode about ontology, we will focus more on the sociology branch of it, I guess. And I am joined by Bernard and Dan once again. Uh, Make sure to check out our Patreon if you'd like to support us. We're also on Spotify. Um, how's it going, guys?
Hello, this is my voice. I am Bernard. I just remember last time we did that.
Hello, this is Dan. This is my voice associated with this human individual. Hello, everyone.
Imagine, like, due to budget cuts, I've had to replace the both of you as AI.
With the
What
cheapest
budget?
text to
What are you
speech.
talking about? You're supposed to get paid?
No, there is no payment, but apparently, like, like YouTube and all these social medias that are like cracking down on on all these AI voices, and there's just something uncanny about them because I've picked up a few robocalls from AI. So it's happened so often that I spent a whole afternoon last week to set up my own robocall assistant. So any phone calls that
Oh,
get to
Ah,
me will have a robot answering for me. And apparently, if it manages to talk to another bot, it's going to end up in like an infinite loop. So I always have to keep my eyes on it.
ah.
But even then, it feels good. Solve
why
AI
not
with
make
Did
them
AI.
you?
have a fixed limit
Mm,
of time?
I can. I can just terminate the session as well. Um, I'm just afraid that it might just be someone who's very well spoken, and is really taking his time to make his point, and then if I accidentally terminate them, that'd be very bad.
Yeah.
You guys,
Imagine you go through all these communication courses and you really take the time to
mm.
articulate your thoughts and everything. And then some guy on the internet just go, AI, I kill you.
Oh, dude, I have seen
This
so many artists that have made something really cool. Like it could be writing, it could be painting, and you just see people just calling them out for AI.
Oh well.
that's that. I
Sucks to
just want.
suck.
I was gonna say something that I don't remember now. Ah,
Something.
crap.
Something
Let's
crap.
continue.
Okay.
No, my
Well,
bad.
I was just gonna ask you guys about your week. I can start with mine. It's been an absolutely horrible week for me. Um,
Oh no.
I have many surgeries lined up, so my nasal cavities have always struggled. My breathing sucks. So when I go to bed, when I wake up, I'm always tired, right? Because I suffer from like I
Oh
basically don't
shit.
have
Sleep
enough,
apnea?
yeah, not enough oxygen when I wake
Yeah.
up.
Don't they call it like sleep apnea or something?
It's not that bad yet. Like you need to struggle to, fully suck in air I think to meet the like sleep apnea
I
is
thought you were very good at sucking. Sorry.
not with my nose, dude. Oh
Oh.
man, and so I have a surgery at the end of the month where they have this
Oh
brand new
no.
fucking crazy invention because the old way
You're
has
getting a
always
nose
been
job.
yeah, but it's not on the nose. It's like the nasal cavity that
It-
goes all the way in. It's basically above. If you touch your
Oh, the
tongue,
sinuses?
yeah, yeah, it's in the sinus cavity, if that's a word. And
What are they gonna do?
so they have like this little stick that vibrates at a very, very incredibly high frequency. So much so that when they point that stick at the sinus flesh that are inflamed, it will it will induce like a long burn. It's insane. Like this burning will
What the
continue for
hell?
hours. And this burning, it's kind of like imagine like I'm using microwave. You know how like when you microwave food, it has residual like residual heat. It takes a long time for it to dissipate, right? Because you're
I
heating it
guess.
at a
Yeah.
molecular molecular level. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that. So it's using a little stick to burn off these flesh and I'll basically have to do it roughly once a year until the day I die. It's a temporary solution
Oh
because it grows
What?
shit.
back. Because the alternative is to like slice off the flesh, but then it
I
takes
was
two to
gonna
three
say.
years to grow back. So it's still
Oh
like
shit.
Yeah, so it's very
It,
invasive.
it keep going back.
Yes. So you
That's
may
a
as
good
well go
thing.
with the least painful one, and it's a brand new technology. Otherwise, I would have done the operation when we were still in school because I was already suffering, and my teeth are fucked up, so I do need to get my teeth. My wisdom.
No.
Nothing wrong with my base teeth set, but my wisdom tooth. I have three
You
of
need to
them.
get the DLC team
Yes,
set.
fucking DLC expansion, and it's expand.
The DLC, and you don't have any more memory left to fit it in.
Yeah, the
But
one
it's
thing
but it still downloads.
it's the one thing I would prefer to be straight in my life is the growth pattern of my wisdom tooth. But they are all incredibly crooked. It's insane. I looked at the X-ray. I have a horizontal wisdom tooth at the back of my mouth. Horizontal. So it's basically pushing my face, pushing my upper jaw forward, and the doctor literally said you're gonna look like a rat if you don't deal with it because my upper jaw is
Hey,
gonna
rats are
start.
cute.
They are kind of cute, but yeah, it'll start protruding. So in
Why
prepping
you
for
laugh?
for the surgery, I did a blood test, and it turns out I have no idea how this
Yeah.
happens. It turns out I am at. I'm gonna quote the doctor. Okay, he said you can have a heart attack at any time.
What?
Yeah,
What?
because apparently my bad cholesterol, the LDL, is so incredibly high, because I inherited it after my father. So both my mum and my dad, they are on these long-term prescriptions, right? They need to constantly take statins. It's a enzyme. Is it an enzyme? I'm not sure, but it's a medication that you take that could reduce your body's response to building up cholesterol. And for me,
Right.
for frankly, for all my siblings as well, we all have this condition. So we hold on to cholesterol. We produce a lot of them, and we are high risk of getting a stroke, getting a heart attack. So for the rest of the week, after I found out, I have done everything I can to keep my life calm. I don't want to have any sudden burst of like anger or frustration or anxiety. Like I need to be purely zen right now. But yeah,
Did it
I'm
help?
I'm I'm on medication and I need a lot of them apparently. Because it's not gonna go down by like they say that lifestyle changes would work, but it's not gonna contribute that much in the end. Like I could basically
Oh,
become a monk who eats vegetarian and eats only once a day. It's still not gonna reduce to a healthy level. I,
Oh,
I actually need statins. So that sucks.
man, that's fucked up.
Oh, and
I'm
it's supposed to
sorry.
be Pride Month.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be proud.
Oh.
But yeah, how's your week?
Uh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just feel I'm just my
I feel like my
em
week. I shouldn't
like
complain anymore.
yeah, like my empathy needs a moment.
Aw. But
Um,
yeah, something that's really that's just like I didn't have to think about my mortality so soon. So I've had to like set up my the whole thing with my life insurance or where my things are gonna go. And it feels
oh,
so fucking strange to be in your early 30s writing a will. Right? Like I'm basically writing down, hey, here are my final messages. Reach out to these people for me. Tell them I love them. Uh, and
Oh, fuck.
yeah, yeah, no, it's sad. Um, but yeah, I've got to be very careful. And there is one silver lining, right? Like it's the fact that people with our condition, a lot of people have the condition that I have, and a lot of people just kind of get by with life just having high cholesterol and they just seem to be unfazed by it. Frankly, if I looked at my father, he seems fine most of the time, He's never had a
Yeah.
stroke, never had a heart attack. But you never know because those numbers just bright red highlighted. They highlighted my LDL level in bold italic underlined red text. That's how serious they are. They looked at
they
me,
have
they're
like
like
all the
because they were
formatting they
shocked.
could find.
they were like, "Do you not work out? Do you
How are
like?"
you still alive?
Because I showed
You're
them.
practically running on cholesterol instead of blood.
Yeah, because I showed them. I'm like, yes, I'm kind of overweight, but I have been losing weight, just by managing my diet, and I am, despite my weight, I'm very active. I work out at the very least 3 times a week, and so they
Yeah,
looked
you're
at.
Oh
super
yeah, I've been
healthy.
with this man at the gym. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
so they
strong.
looked at they looked at my records and they're like, oh wow, so you really have a genetic condition. That is a bad news." Right, so it's like, can you imagine? I was like, I was fighting for myself, like, oh, but I work out a lot, and then they're saying, okay, so in that case, it means it's
That's
even
so
worse.
demoralizing.
Ah, man. But yeah, I've just got to calm myself down and just be very like chill most of the time. I don't want to risk any blood vessels popping. Um, but yeah, how's your
Keep your
week?
cortisol levels low.
My week uh was pretty good, I think. I'm really happy for the past couple of weeks because I have uh I have some orders which are big enough that I'm not scared about my financial security in the near future.
That's amazing.
That's
And
great.
overall, they're pretty calm and like no rush. So I'm just working a 9 to 5, but like my own, managed by me, a 9 to 5, which feels different. It just feels very calm and liberating in a way.
Yeah.
Because it does feel different when the 9 to 5 is mandated by somebody else. But
Yeah,
just because it's your own time doesn't make it any easier because you're likely to overwork, right? Like you just be like, oh, I just want to get this done. Then you're likely to work over the
yeah.
hours you need.
It's such a bad thing, when you freelance and
Mhm.
you don't have enough orders or they're all small and don't bring that much money. You have to work more and you get less
Mhm.
and you get tired
Yeah,
and you
just to get
become less
by.
efficient. It's like a
Mhm.
it's like a bell curve, maybe, or maybe a incline hill. What I'm saying is that, like, as when the situation gets better, it just gets easier and it's easier to earn more as well
Yeah,
because you don't have the rush and you don't have to take like not bad jobs, but like jobs that require pretty much as much work as a bigger project, but still pay way less.
yeah. I basically lived through that my whole life growing up in this family because it's how my family business goes as well. The drought period, the time when it could be it could be just a whim from Donald Trump, and then a whisper of tariffs, and then it could wreak havoc on the entire supply chain, and it could ruin you for any business to have. It could just
Ah,
completely annihilate you. And during the bad times, you have practically nothing. If you do get orders, it's minuscule and it's tough. But when the times are good, it's shit tons of money. So it's like you kind of need to have a big heart to like to kind of cope with the fact that hey, if you're okay with being broke and heavily in debt for maybe 2 3 years, eventually there'll be that 1 year that's so good that you'll just make all the money back.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Can you ever catch a break?
No, I think you're always. Well, I guess you can. If things are good enough where you can just, if you don't have any work for a while, but you still have like a
Mm.
significant amount of like savings, a buffer amount,
Dan, I got you.
then you can.
I know exactly how to solve your problems. You just have to join the
Wait, wait. I just can hear by the way Jamie speaks that it's going to be a troll suggestion. I
It's
don't know what it is, but I can hear it. Are you smiling
I
when you
can
say that?
yeah,
feel it.
I'm smiling. You can hear the
Ah,
cunty in
maybe
my
that's what it
voice.
is.
Look, it's
No, you can hear the smile and joy. So
well,
that's why you're always trolling, and that's why you're always like griefing, because you're secretly in pain, and you were just looking for a way to let it out. I understand now, Jamie. It's okay. I forgive you for all the griefing you do.
you make it sound
It's
like
still
a
not okay.
you make it sound like I grief a lot. That's not even the case.
Maybe you do it subconsciously.
Oh dear.
Maybe this is how your brain processes griefing by being a piece of shit online.
Hey, come on. I've been so nice. I have been so nice to all the players that I meet on. Well, now I'm playing Far Far West, so it's a lot of young people
Uh-huh.
playing. I'm really nice to them. I'm so
Okay.
chill. But yeah, Dan, I am half joking though. Like you have what it takes to join the Mormon Church in Utah. If you do join them.
Oh, are we talking about that
Uh,
Lego
oh
situation?
yeah, we could talk about it. Do you know about the Lego scandal, Dan?
No.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll cover that after Benny.
Okay.
My week. I was just thinking how lucky I am that I can have a job where I can just listen to podcasts and listen to YouTube videos and stuff. Not everybody can do that while they're working. And I was thinking like, damn, that's actually pretty cool. And yeah, lots of introspection. I was forced to face a toxic trait of mine, I guess, which is basically fear response and my problem where I don't know why, but or where it came from, but I always well, I need to be better at communication first of all, but I realize I always make decisions without talking about it first with the people involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. I
Like
think
I
I.
make executive decisions without considering the people involved, like without talking to them. And that's not good. Like you're supposed to talk to them first and then come to a conclusion together. But yeah, that's something I got to work on.
Yeah, my theory at the time was that, it's not that you're somebody who always does that. It's just when it comes to your feelings and when it comes to your emotional well-being, there is at this at this point in time, there is a tendency for you to rush to save it or protect it somehow. Um,
No, no. Even when I want to end things,
uh-huh.
I decide to end things executively. Like that's the thing. Like it doesn't matter which direction it goes. The fact that I just decide, okay, this is what we'll do now,
I mean,
without even talking about it.
Well, I mean, I know what you mean. I think for breaking up, how else can like you? Usually, I think it's a one-side uh, decision. I think
I think there
where.
could still be more grace in like how you do it, right? Like instead of
Well,
just like
true.
cutting the
Yeah,
person off
yeah,
sure, sure, sure,
and
but
definitely.
just
if you have too
ghosting.
much grace, you end up like me, where when I was 18 in my
The
first
person doesn't
relation,
even
yeah,
know
they don't know I
that you
broke up
broke up
with
with
them,
them.
and it was terrible. Uh, but I have noticed that in certain regards, especially like during our trip to Amsterdam, you're very black and white when it comes to certain things. Like you make decisions very fast. And I've always wondered if it's because you didn't get to make a lot of executive decisions, so to speak, in your childhood, or perhaps you felt like you didn't have control, so you want to have control.
Maybe, maybe. You think it's a childhood thing?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it sounds like a broken record by now, but everybody keeps talking about childhood traumas. There is that aspect to it. It's kind of like, oh, come on, man, this again. but it is to a certain
No,
extent true, right? Like there so much stuff stems from our childhood where it becomes like a subconscious problem that we're not entirely aware of.
yeah, I guess that's why we do the inner work, right? Like that's why we do all the things that we do, so we can
Yeah.
work on it.
All right, Benny. Well, we're always here to chat. I'm always down to provide insight as much as a cunt that I sound like. I know it's annoying when I
No,
say
you're not, dude.
because
You're not.
people that's the biggest criticisms I've received over my lifetime. It's like I sound like a smart ass. Uh
You're
even
not. You are a
Oh,
smart ass.
there we go. There we go. Okay, it's
that
Pride Month.
laugh.
This is homophobia. Stop bashing me. Mm.
It's got nothing to do with your sexuality.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Unless you're sapiosexual, I guess, yeah.
My
say
God, Bernard is laughing like Jeff Bezos.
Really?
oh, that's right.
A little bit, like right now. It's this evil laugh that is dominating you. It's because you are a smartass.
Oh my
No, no,
goodness.
I cannot make it, but like, just
You guys,
You
hey,
know,
let's say
I'm,
if
I'm actually I'm actually his secret double. I got the bald head, I got the evil laugh, you know.
I was just gonna say if we could dress up for Halloween where we each play an evil billionaire,
Because
you could be Jeff Bezos, but what could we be? What Dan, who could you
you
be?
you Jamie can be Jack Ma.
Oh, what? Wait,
Yes,
no, come
because he's
on.
Asian.
Come on.
I'm
Jack Ma is no
joking.
longer a
You
billionaire.
don't have the head for that. Yeah, in his
Hmm.
prime. In his prime.
I don't know. Who do I look like the most?
Is there like
Uh,
some kind of Russian oligarchy billionaire thingy?
yeah, yeah.
There's so
I
many of
guess
them.
that would be a good direction to look into.
No,
Nothing comes to my mind.
but Dan looks too kind. Like Dan just looks like somebody who would help you if you tripped and fell.
Oh,
Like
But you
it's.
know, it's the people that looks the cleanest that has the most to hide.
But that's the thing, right? Like the. Oh wow. Okay, I don't know. I'm suddenly very attracted to
Huh?
Dan. There's an evil side of him. That's hot. Uh.
Oh, you like the bad boy, bad
mm.
boy aesthetic?
So, do we know about the
is it
Lego?
because you think you can correct me?
Oh,
Oh,
Or
that
you,
I can
do,
fix you
oh
mentality.
my
yeah,
gosh.
exactly.
Oh my god,
No, not really.
I
I,
can
I,
fix
I,
you.
I've always wondered about that myself. But I think I'm not the kind of person that likes to project. I would
Yeah,
much
I mean, who
prefer.
the fuck has
A
time for that?
project.
Yeah, because if a partner becomes a project, that's so tiring. I would much prefer if you corrupt me. I'm corruptible. I'm charming and corruptible.
Oh, you like the fall of grace kind of
Yeah,
approach to this, huh?
if it comes
Fall
down to
from
the two of
grace.
us, scorched earth, cunt. Okay. Uh, Lego scandal. Do you guys know about it?
Yes, I know about it. I've been following it since last week.
Oh shit. I am so fully updated on this. So Dan, just a little backstory for you. I think the guy is also called Dan, but there is a family who is who's well known to be one of the top Star Wars Legos collector in the entirety of the United States, or maybe in the world. In any case, their
Whole
collection
family.
so no, okay, so it's just the dad, but the
Ah,
collection, yeah, of course, it's just the dad.
It's
uh,
just a dad.
yeah, the collection amounts to something like 200,000 US dollars now because of inflation and how the
wow.
the collectibles value increased over time. And the father was very sick, so he's in the hospital, and the family is in need of medical funds. So the son brought the entire collection to Bricks and Minifigs, a corporation that owns a bunch of these collectible, like collect toys and collectible stores across the nation, and
Mm,
they brought it to one branch. The son did a consignment for selling the Lego sets. So they kept he kept all the entire collection with the store, and they signed papers. But at the time when he did the signing, the branch was actually owned by a different couple. Then the from Bricks and Minifix, there were these two guys. One of them is called Josh, but they all look like typical douchebags, and they're very rich. They did a hostile takeover of the store by apparently, allegedly claiming that the couple that currently owned the branch had some heroin addiction, and this matters
Wow.
later because it's funny how they keep accusing people of using heroin. So they took over the store but didn't recognize the consignment. So consequently, consequentially, consequently, my English is degrading. But as a consequence, they the new owners now no longer you know acknowledge the consignment, effectively stealing the entire collection. I don't know if they even know where the sets are. It may have been moved around. They closed that branch now, so the son
Oh,
of the sick father has been in a very long legal battle with Bricks and Minifix. We've gotten nowhere so far, and luckily they had a YouTuber by the name of Reckless Ben to do an investigation, and the investigation led down a long line of pure insanity that the scandal is no longer about Legos, but rather about the entire
Police
police
corruption.
corruption in fucking Utah, because apparently they're all owned by the same Mormon church and they kind of look out for each other, right? So in his journey, he was just there to like, because he was suing the new owners, one of them being Josh, and they got into a lot of fights. They're suing each other. They're supposed to. Ben is supposed to submit like a court mandated document to serve Josh, basically. And in his efforts to do that, the police were intervening. The At some point, one of the police members actually took his paperwork forward to Josh, and they redacted the body cam for the duration in which the police is telling Josh that, hey, these are the court papers, you're supposed to read them. But Josh insists that it is all fake, it's all
Fake.
manufactured.
Yeah.
And then, like I don't
And he
know.
just literally say, I don't want them.
Exactly. And then I don't know the exact legality of this, but the police should not take side when it comes to this, right? And then further to that, Josh even wanted to take a peek, right? You can't just take a peek on a document that you were supposed to be served, right? Like it's not how it works.
yeah.
And there is a lot of drama happens down the line which involved multiple police stops. They were arrested at one point because they were accused of having heroin. The same MO as Josh did towards the original Bricks and Minifix owners. And at one point they were even swatted, right? And the entire YouTuber team, they stayed at an Airbnb, and apparently the Airbnb owner were listening in on them, which is a big red flag. You're not supposed to listen in on your guest, but because the owners did, and they used that to sign a warrant from a judge to swat the house. And in swatting the house, they dislocated Ben's shoulders. Um, but apparently, like he is more prone to like shoulder dislocation because he's quite skinny. He does a lot of like extreme sports. Even then, like he was injured.
And he was on a ski trip like
You know,
before.
and the crazy stuff is like that now he is facing what was it, prosecutions asking for like 20 years or some obscene numbers in jail, right? They're going up against the Bricks and Minifix corporation.
Oh God.
And recently the CEO of Patreon even came out and said that, hey, Bricks and Minifix requested a formal takedown of their Patreon account, which I didn't know companies could do that. So if somebody complained, they'll take down our Patreon account. That's insane. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
for Patreon, it's just free PR, really.
I guess so. So I guess the whole point is that the lessons learned is that if you have money in there, take it out immediately. In any case, that's a very long TLDR, but there's a lot of minutia, a lot of a lot of details to the case. It's insane because people are not believing how corrupt the what's the branch called? The American Fork Police, FORK, like Fork Police Department. The
Is
police
it
even came
fork? I
out to
thought it
do,
was fork.
I think so. In any way, like the police chief even came out to do like a statement, and they were just blatantly lying. and everybody's talking about it. It's
Oh yeah,
insane.
Wow.
The look,
and he's so soft spoken as
oh
well.
god, it's annoying. And this whole storyline is exactly the storyline of Far Cry 3 or 4. The one that took place in an imaginary southern town of the United States, and it's cult. The entire cult that you need to fight. Which
Yeah,
one
yeah.
was which one was that?
I don't
Far
remember. I
Cry.
think it's the later one. Uh,
Far Cry 5.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it was so good. Oh, that game was fun.
I never played it. Couldn't get into it.
But yeah,
I've heard the song they made for the cult was too good. Like people legitimately listen to it.
yes, the music
Like
was
music.
amazing. It was very convincing, and it was like high production value. Honestly, the story was great as well with that one. But the fun stuff about it is that you basically, if you've played Far Cry, it's the same MO, it's the same game mode, right? You go from outpost to outpost to liberate. But the fun stuff is when you can play with your friends, you can both be hunting, you can both go like on like a boat trip. You can even like dangle from a helicopter that's piloted by one of your friends. And it's just I almost call it like a sandbox, like a military sandbox. It's a lot of fun.
You know what's a military sandbox? Arma 3. By the way, we are not sponsored by anybody and anything we talk about.
But we don't mind sponsorships.
Yeah, we are open. Open.
Dude, did you know
Open.
that when the war in Ukraine broke out, there was a
Yeah.
whole shitload of misinformation that was happening on YouTube, on multiple like social media platform, featuring.
Sorry to interrupt, Jamie. I just had a moment where my brain went, oh my God, missed opportunity. Remember earlier when I was talking about my week and I said, like, oh, I realize I have toxic traits I need to work on and I need to work on my communication?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why you should join betterhelp.com.
Oh my god. We're not we're not
BetterHelp help me
okay, like,
reflect on all my mental issues.
man,
Oh God.
I wonder how they're
Yeah,
doing.
sorry about that.
But yeah,
BetterHelp.
in any case,
I
like,
haven't heard I haven't heard much plugs for them recently.
yeah, it's
I wonder
odd.
if it's a sign.
It's just not a sustainable business model, it seems. Hmm.
But like freelancing mental health people?
No, I just think that with the advent of AI, like a lot of users have no reason to believe that the therapist is real. Because one of the main selling points is always about like this texting style anonymous therapy, which is the preferred method for a lot of younger people that don't want to meet a therapist in real life, right? So they would much prefer to be in the confines of their safety, their secure space, and talk to somebody via chat. But now the other person could be fake, which is kind of annoying. Uh, anyway, back to Arma
Yeah.
3. Like, there were people using footage from Arma, right, with very, like, usually dark lighting to fake, uh, live events of, oh, new missile struck Kiev or
Hmm.
something. It was crazy, and that was like a lesson learned. Like a lot of boomers were duped, right? This was before AI. That's insane. A video game was enough to convince you that there's been a missile strike.
Yeah, especially if the video is through a camera a view thing from an
Yeah.
airplane or a tank, where in real
Yeah.
life it also kind of looks video gamey.
Have you seen that game called Body Cam?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I mean that I when I first saw footage of that game, I genuinely didn't even was not even aware that was a game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you know
yeah,
that? Do
they do a really good job of making it look convincing.
you want me to break
Yeah.
down their graphics?
If you want to.
Like why it's
Yeah,
so convincing? It's
I have
Is
because
my
it the
theories.
fish eye and blur?
yeah, so that the camera work is one part that sells it, but the actual 3D scene is very well done. But the key stuff that they did was I think it was nanite geometry, basically geometry with a lot. I don't know if it was actually done. Yeah, it wasn't Unreal because I've seen a footage of the developer basically showing us proof, right, in the editor, and it's using nanite assets, which is very high polygon count assets. And in addition to that, the lighting is very brilliantly chosen. It's always kind of like the best graphic showcases of car racing games, where an overcast daylight is always got like one of the easiest to convince people it's real footage, right? So the lighting is very deliberate. It is a game where you would not very likely see that in a match where the lighting changes dramatically. It won't happen, right? So
Yeah.
by having this very smart confines, like just having a consistent lighting is one of the one of the most brilliant ways to achieve realism with with minimal effort. And in addition to that, it is using the body cam format, which is a format that you and I, or even like the younger people, even the older people, like, we're just not that familiar with it. It's only until recently that we get to see like body cam footage, right? Most of us can really pick out, if a video game is trying to make itself look like a movie shot, right? If it's like a
Mm.
cinematic DLSR camera, but it shows an unfamiliar type of camera lens to see through everything, which our eyes are not very trained to do that. And another key thing is you
Mm.
don't see human faces, right? Everybody's covered up. And in terms of
Yeah.
real-time graphics, we have already achieved realism. If you've watched, the Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, and he was fighting Majesto, Ma-
Uh,
what's his name?
uh, Mephisto, or
Mephisto.
No, Jake
yeah,
Gyllenhaal, the
yeah, I
magician.
know, which one you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
The whole
Mysterio, isn't it
Mysterio,
Mysterio?
yes,
Or
Mysterio.
yeah,
And the whole sequence of when Spider-Man was being put into this illusion that was, basically created by drones in the movie, right? That whole sequence of him falling through buildings, falling through all of that was done with real-time graphics as opposed to the traditional offline graphics that would make you calculate every frame, right? That whole shot and sequence was basically made by a video game engine. You could think of it that way, right? So that is pretty insane. Like, I'm really happy to see people leveraging how far we've come in, creating convincing 3D scenes. But yeah, once again, if they show skin, that's when the illusion would kind of break.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I also like my feelings were that it's because it's easier to recreate a look that
Mm,
you have on a video from a video camera
yeah.
for a video game than the look that you would have. I think in a way it's easier because you also look at the video on like through a screen,
Yeah.
so it's easier to just like create something and have a video pulled up on the side
Wow,
to
I hadn't thought
compare
about that.
to.
You're right. Yeah. And an analogy I would make is like, imagine there's a video game about the back rooms, which I've watched the whole movie.
isn't there like a lot of that?
No, the recent
Yeah,
movie that came out, directed by the same kid that made the original clips. He's only 21 years old, which would have mean that he got the movie contract maybe when he was 18 or 19. Can you imagine directing a movie at age 19?
nice.
That's insane. But yeah,
Lucky man.
Crazy.
so the back rooms visual, it's very like scanline. What do you call those monitors? CRX monitors, uh,
CRT.
CRT monitors. Yes, and it's that very
Or for
that.
those uninitiated, can you describe what a CRT monitor is?
Is the big one that's not flat, made out of glass.
Your grandpa's computer screen,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
It's
or
your
TV
grandpa's
screen.
computer.
the chunky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the first Apple computer? I think it was called the Apple Pro, or what's that called? The Apple computer? You know which one I'm talking about?
The
Apple
first
TV
one?
Pro is just a device, like not a screen though.
No. Like the big Apple computer that they had like a
Oh,
mouse and a keyboard.
I don't know. You talking about the one that took up the entire space of a room?
Oh, they
Well,
had a computer like
that's
that.
a
I
bit
didn't
of
know.
an exaggeration, but it's like one of the first
Oh,
computers, I
okay.
would say.
No, I'm not sure about it then. But yeah, if there's a specific visual that you want to create, go in that retro look, go in that specific look would make your time a lot easier. If they were to remade the body cam in like a battlefield esque kind of point of view, then the same kind of uncanny graphical feeling would come back. And plus,
Because
like,
of
Yeah.
skin.
no, but just because of how the camera's supposed to be. Because like in Battlefield, you're supposed to look through the character as opposed to look through a camera, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You're
yeah,
talking about Battlefield, the game, right?
exactly, yeah. And
Yeah.
not to mention that the shooter genre, like in body cam, it's just shooting people. You don't have buildings falling on top of you. You don't have helicopters crashing into a building with modular destruction, right? The scope is so much smaller.
Yeah.
So there's yeah, that's brilliant, honestly,
And
brilliant.
if I'm not wrong, like there's auto aim. Like you don't have to aim it yourself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, that would make
Oh,
sense because
really?
it's
No.
off center, right? Like because the body cam
Yeah.
wouldn't. Wow. All right, guys, it is Pride Month. A continuation of our ontological discussion. I was gonna ask,
So I
you
was gonna ask you, Jamie. Sorry to hijack it like this, but not sorry. Should I call you Mister? Should I call
why?
you Mister?
Oh, why are you gay? Huh? Oh my
Why
god.
are you gay?
You know
You are
they
gay.
they did an interview with the guy like and apparently like he doesn't actually have any malice towards like gay people. He was just very serious.
Curious.
He was very like into the interview, which is what made it so
Very
funny.
professional, actually.
Yeah. By the way, I'm calling Benny out because first of all, Bernard outed me uh on the last episode
About
and
what?
about being gay, even though I've established that fact many times. But you know how like people joke like I complain about, hey, you don't get to out me. Only I can call myself out for being gay. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
what do you guys think is a what is a woman? This is the street style rage bait interview. What's a woman, Benny?
All right. Do you mean like the social construct of what we define as a woman, or are you talking purely about the genetical aspects of a woman here, sir?
No, dude, just a
And
woman. What's a
can you
woman?
get that mic out of my face, please? You're invading my personal space.
No. They don't care. In fact, I've stuffed the microphone into your mouth right now. What's a woman, sir? What's a woman?
Sir, I can't speak like this. Am I role playing it very well?
No,
Yes.
okay, no. But seriously though, like,
What is a woman? Right? Yeah. Yeah. My first question is: are we talking about the social construct of what a woman is, or are we talking about the genetical construct of what a
so
woman
yeah,
is,
that's a
or
brilliant
our
question.
definition?
I'll give you the context, right? Because I think we're talking about trans women in sports, right? There's a reason why people are having such heated debate of what makes
Hmm.
a woman, right? Because it does get kind of ridiculous at times when you have a baby carrying person as opposed to just referring to them as a woman, right? So there is that far
When you
left.
say baby carrying, do you mean like in your arms, or?
No. Oh, sorry, a birthing person. Sorry, a birthing person. Someone capable of birthing, right?
Okay.
But the whole debate was actually about Olympics and how do you define a woman when a trans person has gone through like different procedures to compete, whether that's fair or not, right? So we do need a Olympic specific, you know, definition of a woman. And if you're the
That's
Olympic
crazy.
organizer, how would you define a woman?
Hmm. Dan, your thoughts?
Dan is cancelled.
I
Dan is pre-cancelled.
what a woman is. Let me think.
Let
Um,
me ask my wife.
And then his
well,
wife's like, "Joke's on you."
I'm
Well,
not one.
uh,
No, no. Sorry. Yeah, Ben,
let's
sorry.
maybe start with I feel like for what the word for me means.
no, no, no. Yeah,
Let's
okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's a valid approach.
uh, so for me, it's a way to. For me, it's more tied to the biological sex of the person, and also a social construct, where a woman for me is somebody that is usually. For me, a woman is a straight woman that likes men, and
Sorry, can you repeat that? Did you say straight woman or a
yeah,
street woman?
straight.
Ah, okay.
Wait, so lesbians aren't women?
Oh, true. No, they are.
Oh,
Hmm.
cancelled, cancelled,
Oh,
cancelled.
canceled. Like the
I'm
for the six
building
hundredth
this.
time.
I'm building this live, right?
Mhm,
I'm not saying it's gonna be good from very start. You are absolutely right. They are women, and so. Uh, but that's, I guess, the reason why I said that is because this is what the first thing comes to my mind.
mhm,
But you're absolutely right. So, I guess, but the biological sex tie stays for me so far. Um, so for example, if somebody that is a man or used to be a man,
mhm.
when I know about it, it's still kind of hard to fully call that
Embrace them
person
being a man
yeah
or
embrace
woman.
them being a woman.
Mm.
uh so I guess it's
So
for me it's really tied to the sex at birth.
okay.
Let me
So
show you an image.
if a person was born evil and they through their hard work have dedicated themselves to being a good person,
Yeah,
are they still good or are they evil?
they're good.
So a woman born as a woman trapped in a man's body, trying to break free of her mortal shell and wanting to be what they truly are, a woman. And after years of hard hormonal programming and I mean
Oh, programming.
What, what kind of provision
wrong
is that?
word, wrong word, wrong word.
We need to cancel
What do
counter.
you call that?
Therapy,
What do you
therapy,
call that?
therapy.
Therapy.
Mm.
Yeah. Therapy. The thing we don't believe in, as we stated when we talked about the better health, right? Because we
Yeah.
are.
So I sent a
Oh
picture
God.
to chat. Like, Dan, can you look at that picture? This is a picture of Blair White. If you're a listener,
Give
Blair
me a
White.
second, give me.
Blair White is a famous trans woman who is a YouTuber commentator in this regard. If you see her
It's a man.
compete, if you see her
It's
competing
a
in,
him.
so if you see her competing in women's sports, would you feel like it's unfair?
I think so, yeah, because I've
Okay,
heard stories that
that she transitioned from.
women that used to be a man uh,
Mhm.
still get to keep their physical advantage.
Of course.
There's actually very interesting studies about it. Like it depends on when you transition. Uh, so
Ah,
broadly speaking, if you transition, which is why like a lot of people are pushing to transition before puberty, which would cause a bunch of like moral questions, if, you know, for obvious reasons, right? But if you do transition pre puberty, you will pretty much develop like a woman. Your muscle mass, your hormone levels, etc., etc.
when
Like
is pre-puberty? Is it before like 12?
for a boy, it's later. I think boys, you know, go through puberty later. Yeah, 11 or 12. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah.
No, that's really early.
So here are the qualms. Like I'll set the scene for you guys. There are some very interesting arguments when it comes to this. When it comes to like the Olympic organizers' point of view, having people
Mm.
join in and compete with each other. There was an American woman, I think, who was powerlifting or something, but she was a biological female and she looked like a woman, but kind of Susan Boyle ish, right? So she does have masculine kind of like broad jaws,
Very,
short
yeah.
curly hair. She does look sturdier than the average woman, right? But she is categorically biologically a woman, and so she's been winning a lot, and she outperformed all of her contemporaries, and I think at 1 year when she gone through like a physical like an X-ray, they found out that she had internal testicles, right?
What?
Yes, developed
Mm.
internal, fully functioning testicles, albeit of course no sperm or anything like that. But those testes are way up in her body. She would have never found out, and that those testes have been producing higher amounts of testosterone for her, which possibly accounted for higher muscle mass and for for the fact that she just looks
Mm.
stronger, right? And then she
Yeah.
was disqualified for a year, right? She was
Oh.
disqualified for a year. So in this regard, like that's challenging to think, hey, that also seems kind of unfair because she is by all means like a biological woman. She does have this symptom, very rare, genetic expression, so to speak. And
Yeah.
to further on that point, right? You have intersex people that have both sets of genitals. So using genitals as a definition is very difficult, right? Uh,
Yeah.
does it a man doesn't stop being a man just because he suffered an injury and lost his genitals. And further to that point, you might think, oh, what about XX and XY chromosome pairs, right? There are a lot of people that are born with Della-Chapelle syndrome, or Swear syndrome, where
What is that for the
so,
uninitiated?
so Della-Chapelle syndrome could vary in quite a broad range in terms of how it manifests, but broadly speaking, it's when you, as a man, have XX chromosomes, so which should have
How does
been
that work?
a female pair.
What does that mean for that man?
It means that for him, it could be very mild, even though the genetic expression is XX. This person could still function. Um, in terms of producing sperm and having erection, being able to have sex, etc., etc. Like he could live a completely normal life that you would have never found out. Or on the other far end, this could be a man that outwardly look incredibly feminine. He looks skinnier and he has less beard. Usually these people look very handsome. They're kind of like, supermodels, right? They're that sickly, kind of skinny, very refined, elegant look. Um, and they could have reduced testicle size. Note, just testicles, that they could have a huge stem, right? But the pillar is big, but the stones are smaller. Okay. And
Okay.
some of them could be
Interesting way of putting it.
yeah, some of them could be infertile, and so this condition could also apply to women, right? To women, and it's called a Swear syndrome, Sweyer or something, where the chromosome, expression is XY, even though she is a woman. Then that's because, like with recent studies into genomics, how our chromosome pair expresses itself is very complicated. It could change up until you were born, sorry, or up until you were like in whilst you're still a zygote. And there's even people that are only born with one chromosome expression, which is just X, right? And then
How does
again,
that even work?
I know it's crazy. You could look it up. It's the symptoms could vary in range. Some people have very, very severe symptoms, and some people just, you know, would just be a man or a woman otherwise, right? And the reason that you might think that these are exceptions, but the reason I bring it up is because a lot of the women that are out competing others are often themselves quite the genetic rarity. Is because they do have these congenital, not congenial, but congenital advantages that they are not aware of. But because they have these advantages, they eventually become the top performer in that as an athlete. And given the competition levels nowadays, if you look at an athlete, they're all kind of genetic monstrosities in the sense that some people could have increased muscle mass, some people have lighter, perhaps lighter and more durable bones, which allows them to be a better gymnast, for example, right? Some people just have
Yeah.
incredible VO2 efficiency that allows them to run for long periods of time, right? When it comes to sports, we're already dealing with exceptions,
Sounds like you're talking about a car there.
right?
VO2 efficiency, V8 engine.
so so so
They
if
are a machine.
So you see how if you want to be specific about it, the genital check fails, the genetic expression
Yeah.
the check also fails, and further to that point, if we're really talking about fairness among the competitors, if you look at men's long running sports, um, this is how gay I am. I don't know what's it called. The long running, what do you call that? Sprint?
Marathon?
No, not marathon, but the one that you sprint like a short distance,
Sprint.
Sprinting?
I guess. It's mostly
Yeah, usually it's like 100-meter sprint,
yeah,
300-meter sprint,
the top
etc.,
competitors
etc.
of that sport. Can you guys enlighten us? Who are they? What are their skin colors?
Ah, are
Right?
they
I'll do it. I'll do it.
black?
Of
Sorry.
of
Are they
African.
strongly
Mm.
pigmented?
Are they dark?
There are individuals of high levels of melanin concentration, especially specifically in what's the term called? I once wrote a program like a
Or
shader to adjust the skin color based on science, and it's called uh Pheno fucking hell, I forgot the term. But yeah, you could argue the same for like basketball, And what about like nutrition levels, right? Like even though nowadays, most countries have equal amounts of, pretty good standards of living. We all have good access to amount of protein. That's actually a measurement for the for the standards of living for a lot of countries. There's a term for how much protein a country consumes. And broadly speaking, they're making the claim that um, people tend to grow taller and are stronger the higher the protein count, which is why like in my culture, like all of our parents, all of our ancestors, the grandparents, they would be like, oh, you're a kid, you have to eat proteins, because they lived through an era where they were mostly vegetarian, not by choice, right? They were
Mm.
farmers, they mostly
yeah.
had rice and vegetables. And you could see, like, I've looked at the older generation, especially in Taiwan. I'm almost always taller than they are, right? So there is a
Mm.
big difference that diet could make. And I point
Yeah.
this out because in the 70s, when the American 15-year-old schoolgirls basketball team were pitted against a Latin American country, I think it was Colombia or something, they were the same age, but the girls from the States were like at least one head taller than their Latin American counterpart, right? And that also doesn't seem fair. So there's just a
Mm.
lot of, it kind of sucks, but
Unfairness.
maybe when it comes to sports fairness, it comes down to like what seems fair as opposed to what really is fair.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you could be Homelander if you don't tell
I
people
guess
about your
you
powers.
should create. I think we should create something like fighters have what do you call it? A weight class,
Yeah, yeah, the weight
and
class, right?
maybe we should use something like that for all sports. But I don't mean weight. Just come up with a measurement of, I don't know,
I
muscle percentage or something like that, right?
But what about sports
To
like curling?
so that feminine man that's by nature, I mean, or not by nature, but for example, if they change were men and changed at the right time to
Hmm.
become and became a woman. Uh, so we just use these parameters so to beat people that can actually compete with each other against each other, and the same goes for women that for some reason are abnormally more masculine, then they have to compete with men, I guess. I don't know, or
Yeah, but
maybe
then
there will be a middle ground
yeah,
for
but that's so
them.
tough because what about people like Blair White? Like she maybe if she wants to compete in sports and then let's say the Olympics team decided that we'll have a trans category, right? But
Yeah,
then again, if you trans before puberty versus somebody, what's her name? Lisa something who is a one of the most prolific, most successful female swimmer who outwardly just looks like a guy. Uh these people that transitioned after
Wait, did you
puberty.
say she's called Lisa Swimmer
No,
and
no, no,
she's swimming?
Lisa something, but like, that's the
Okay, okay,
no, no,
okay. I was
but
like, wow,
like
very on the
that's
nose.
my last. That's my last name. I must do that.
yeah, and and then there's also the question is, did you chop it off, right? Because this swimmer, she was actually in she was allowed to like change in the same room as other contestants, right? And this other girl that took second place, by the way, like the trans woman won by a mile, like she won by a lot. And the girl that came in second place, like she went on national television and she was like, oh, the trans athlete changed in our changing room, and I literally stared down a swinging penis, right? Because he was pre-op, right? Because you could take hormone therapy before removing your genitals or grafting.
Mm.
Which, by the way, this is going to be a wild tangent.
That's why I think it should not be decided by biological sex or gender or something
Mhm.
like that. It should be a metric similar, like that, that can allow to categorize people similar to what like weight class does for fighting.
I can imagine that system working for sports like, badminton, maybe even ping pong. But what about sports like, I don't know, ski, what was that thing called ski ballet, the ski dancing? What about
You
curling?
dancing?
Like what about curling? What about hip hop dancing?
Uh,
That viral.
well, I mean, does is it important for curling? Don't they have teams that are comprised of both men and female?
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly, right? Like
curling
so
feels
how
more
do you
like
set
it's
metrics?
about accuracy.
Oh,
Yeah,
you just do it where it makes sense. I know that I think,
Hmm.
for example, also in bouldering, that the difference between men and women are almost non-existent. Although I think they still compete
Hmm.
separately.
Now here's an interesting question though. Oh wait, before that, I had a wild tangent that I need to tell you guys about. The
Mhm.
pioneering work for vaginoplasty, which is the surgery where you graft a penis basically into a vagina, was potentially sponsored by Epstein. There were emails that were found, and
Wow.
and Epstein made the claim that trans men, so from woman to men, are kind of like an abomination to him, but a trans woman has is more special. And
Hmm.
it is for that reason like he's potentially invested in pioneering of this surgery. But anyway, what about if we extend sports to esports? Would you put Asians on like a different team as opposed to like white
Huh.
contestants if Asians are
No,
usually? Would there be any parameters for esports then? Just no parameters.
I
No, what's
guess
the
no.
point?
Does it make sense to have male and
It's a mental and reaction aspect. It's got nothing to do with your physical. Like just because I'm buffed up doesn't make me
mm,
better at a fighting game than a skinny boy that's been like up down left right X X Y Z. Like
I think Asians are better at video games not because they're Asians, but probably a difference in culture and
I guess
approach
so.
to training.
yeah,
What about like a CS?
it's I think autistic people are better at video games because they lock in better.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
we need a separate team for autistic players.
Does that mean that the Asians are autists?
Oh dear. Uh
Definitely.
but even then like you
Ca-
What's the
Case solved.
cancel counter meter on
but
that?
dude, like what about a CS type of game where it's a all female team versus a male team? Does that seem fair?
I think there has been that, and I think the
Yeah, they were
females always
destroyed. They were
lost.
absolutely destroyed. It was not
Yeah.
even a
Oh,
competition. It was that's why
but
like that sparked the
is
conversation
it
for
because they didn't? But it wasn't
Train.
because they're
Yeah.
trained less. They had less
I
training.
feel like
Mm,
it's not the gender that has anything to do with it, but it
Because
feels
I've
like
heard that females, for example, have better fine control, like
mhm.
your motoric skills, and that sounds like it should be good for
yeah,
video
it feels
games.
like they just didn't train or didn't play,
I mean,
and
it's not like they didn't train hard enough. I'm not trying to bash them in this way. What I meant is, I think, well, at least where I live, boys were much more inclined to play games.
Yeah.
And like as early as I had access to a computer, I would like play games, whereas girls not that much, and or the games that they play were not shooters and
Barbie.
competitive
Yeah.
stuff.
Did
It
you
could
just say
be well,
Barbie?
no, no.
Yeah, like
It should be like
Barbie
I
horse
remember.
ride.
I remember there was this game
Mm.
where I think you talk to your virtual friend or you build your virtual character or something like that.
Second Life?
I remember what no,
The
it's
Sims.
never it's no, it's much older. It's 2D. You would launch it through DOS.
About
It's not
penguins?
it's not important,
Okay.
but like it just shows that due to
Mm.
how we
Cultural.
bring up boys and girls here,
Mm.
they just choose a different. Even if they play, they choose a different type of game.
So there are
Yeah.
some
And
interesting
also
yeah.
and also because maybe the boys already have like the starting advantage of
Mm.
playing it since they are young, you know.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Yeah, I was explaining it for so long that I forgot.
What the point
Like,
was.
You know,
yeah.
I have really two relevant tangent points to make. This is super interesting because, uh, when
Proceed.
that competition happened, where the female team was squashed, and then that sparked a conversation for, hey, should we have a female
Did
team for
they
the?
have any conclusion why that happened?
Uh, they were just not as good. I think it happened to like a CS type of game. It also happened to like an all female, I think LOL League of Legends game. They were completely squashed as well, and I do sympathize with them because the a lot of you could argue that okay, it's just because they don't train as much, they don't play as much as boys. But then from their perspective, you do face a certain level of social ostracization by playing video games, right? If you're a girl, you tell another girl that hey, I'm really into this video game. It's not something that makes you cool. It's not something that raises your social
Oh
value as
yeah.
Well, it makes
right.
you cool again to the boys.
Exactly. And to that point, right, a lot of girls, when they play these types of games, when you really need to get good at CSGO, right, you need comms. You need to be talking to people. You need to collaborate and work together. And
Yeah.
they get
Yeah.
harassed the shit out of, right? Like, I was playing Helldivers, and on my team, there's this cute Australian girl that I used to play with. And, we would talk shit, we talk about pop cultures, like, typical gay and girly kind of speak. And so we really enjoy each other's company. And it's a lot of fun when we play together. And when she's on my team, like, holy shit, she's doing super well, right? Like, she is solo carrying the entire game. But when some wild kid joined, like these Chinese kids, they joined and then they started spamming. They're like, oh, do you want to see my penis, do you want to blah blah blah, stuff like that. It's just blatant misogyny that's happening. And it
Mm.
would this also happened to like a bunch of like Overwatch players, right? A lot of like grandmasters and high level like female players, especially when they play DPS. Holy shit, they get flamed the shit out of, right? They would blame, like, the team would blame her for losing, for the game loss, because she's not as good of a DPS versus the other team's male DPS, even though they have no proof that the other team has a male DPS. But the assumption is
Hmm.
always that it's a guy, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that
It's like with driving, right?
exactly.
No wonder
Oh,
they don't play games that much.
exactly. So
It's
it kind
fucking
of
toxic.
it's unfair for them in that
I
case.
remember when I was a child, I never understood this. It's like a switch for some boys. If they find out that a girl is playing the game, it's like all this starts straight away.
Yeah, it was that was so sudden. But yeah, now that we have settled on the debate of what is a woman, we don't have an
Well,
answer.
we didn't really debate
Yeah,
it, and we didn't settle down anything. We just
we
kind of like, well,
Touched
there's
upon
this and there's
random different.
that. Yeah.
we started with
So what
women.
is a woman?
Yeah, right. Like it's not the genetic
We
expression.
all know what it is, but I guess but it's so hard to formalize it
Define it.
into
Yeah.
a document,
Yeah,
like a
and
standard.
and when it comes to like a competition, there's already like even without this whole trans debate, you could already argue that there's already a lot of things that are unfair about how sports are played now, right? If you
Is
really want
this
to,
patriotism? No, no, the misogyny,
yeah,
patriocy. What's that word?
patriarchy,
The patriarchy in
yeah.
action.
Patriarchy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now that we failed to define a woman, uh, what are you why are you gay? Why do you think people are gay?
Hey, look, I think gayness is a spectrum. It's okay to be gay. There's a little bit of gay in everybody. So it's okay, you know?
Yeah, actually, I agree.
What do you think is your
Yeah.
percentage split? Like, do you think you're like 15% gay? Maybe higher on the
I think I'm
weekends?
about I think I'm about 10, but when I see like a hot guy, like when I see my friend's partner, he's like a French guy and he
Mm.
got this chiseled jaw and blue eyes, and
Oh, you got
I'm like
mobbed.
touching his hand.
Oh dear.
I'm like touching his hand, and I'm like, oh my god, your hands are so soft.
Wait, so wait. You find that hot not because it's masculine, but rather it's because it's like feminine.
No, I mean he had calluses on his hand as well, but
All right.
Was it
the skin
calluses?
around his hand, which no calluses are, like
Yeah, okay,
the
get it. Yeah,
skin, yeah,
So he
the
works
rough
out.
it's
part.
That's what
super
he's trying to
soft.
say. He's a
Oh, he
refined.
has a great body. He looks like a king, bro. I was
Wow.
thinking like, okay, for this guy, I'd be if I'm paid enough, like a couple of thousand or probably 100,000s, like I might suck his dick. Like I might be okay with that.
Dan, what about you? What's your split? You're like 1% versus 99. You're just the absolute Chad.
I don't know, but what Burner, like I was trying to apply the situation that
Mm,
Burner described on myself, and when I see guys that I can guess that are attractive for women,
mm,
I think I feel envy, and like it makes
Oh.
me conscious of myself more, and
Mm.
I like to believe that it doesn't go anywhere into now this bad and
mm.
Yeah, like a
enviousness and
toxic
stuff like that.
enviousness. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it makes me like
I wish
it
I got,
affects me like okay, like it
Yeah.
wants me. Oh, at one point, like a part of me
leave some
is
pussy
saying,
for the rest
I
of
need
us, like, bro.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, what I was trying to say, it makes me
Mm.
think. Okay, I like it's an example. I should like get a hold of myself, like work on myself.
But even then,
And a part of me is like shit, like how to compete with men like that.
but
Like these conflicting thoughts.
Yeah.
you know where my qualms are is that a lot of times for straight guys to see another man that they themselves find attractive, that it may not always be the case that the guy that you find attractive is also attractive to women. Do you know what I mean? You know, for
Mm.
instance, right? Like if Dan sees another Chad who is, let's say, Belarusian, chiseled jaws, masculine, built to practically a protein bar walking on Earth, and defined muscles, huge broad shoulders, right? You would look at that and be like, okay,
Big
well,
cojones.
you'd be like, hey, according to our beauty standards, I find this guy attractive. But then, if I bring an Asian woman let's say from China next to you, she would look at that. She would say, "Oh, wow, that's masculine, but that's not attractive to me." Because a lot of Chinese women would prefer if you've seen any Chinese TV dramas or like Korean dramas, in Asia, a lot of good-looking men are often defined by feminine traits. Smooth face,
Mm-hmm.
narrow jawline. They look like kind of like really feminine men. Um,
Yeah.
of course, it's always changing, right?
Like
So
the typical K-pop
yeah,
vision, right?
but here's my
Yeah, I know
question,
what you
right? Like,
mean.
here's my question. I If I see an attractive guy, of course, I have all the same responses you would have when you see an attractive woman. But when I see an attractive woman, I would just be like, I have seen, I don't. A lot of gay people,
Like you,
they wouldn't think of ill. They wouldn't be like, ugh, I would think, oh, that's pretty hot. Like, and then the idea of me in a potential sexual act with this woman, it does not bother me at all. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, there
Maybe
are
you're
women,
bi.
mm,
huh?
Maybe you're bi.
But that's the thing, right? Like it's like you said, it's always a spectrum. Like I won't necessarily be motivated to do it. Like you, none of you are motivated to have sex with another man. But
Not really, not particularly.
right, but the idea. But if I tell you to imagine that, there's something that ticks inside your brain that like, oh, that's wrong, that's weird, that's off.
Yeah,
But
like
from
something churns in my stomach. Like, no.
Right,
yeah,
but for me, nothing goes off. It's like, oh yeah, I could imagine. There's nothing, I wouldn't be like, oh, ugh, I wouldn't have a
interesting.
switch.
Is that the social construct?
So that's the thing, right? Like, is it because men are like the party that penetrates? So the idea of you potentially, okay, so for the both of you, do you feel like being penetrated is more shameful than you being the guy penetrating the other imaginary man?
Yeah, I do.
Penny,
Hold on,
Penny's
I never gotten that far.
Oh, Penny is
so
just such a straight
I need
Chad.
to
It's like
think about it.
No, I
Penny.
mean like it makes
It makes sense. Yeah,
it
I
makes
think
sense,
yes.
and in the general culture,
Right.
if it's ever brought up, it's usually also framed in the same way.
So here's the interesting thing, right? In ancient Rome and parts of the Greek, part of ancient Greek cities, uh, a man who likes to penetrate another woman versus another man who likes to penetrate another man are often seen as the same thing. They are the person who likes to give. So there really isn't that kind of societal difference where if you sleep with another man,
Uh,
or if you penetrate another woman, there's just nothing wrong. People would look up to you like,
All
oh, okay,
right.
you're the giver, right?
Yeah.
There are accounts of politicians trying to like shame each other, and there was a famous account of a guy brought up the fact that his opponent goes around basically sucking dick, right? He was saying that, oh, this person is shameful because he behaves like a whore. The reason that you should not elect him over me is because he behaves like a woman. It's like misogyny times to the power of infinity, right? And but the politician shaming the other, that he himself would claim to his virtue by saying, hey, I have a wife and I have a young boy that I fuck. you know so in our current day view, we would see this politician and his opponent as the same, having an aberrant, abnormal sexuality that's not heteronormative, right? But back
They're
then,
deviant.
yeah, but back then there's just no difference. It's kind of insane, like how, and not to mention that I guess pedophilia was kind of normalized back then, so that's not good either. Um, but in some of these Greek cities, the sort of the love and romance between two men of the same age is considered rare and virtuous, right? Like it's the whole idea
Mhm.
of you're the eternal soldier, you're the eternal farmer, right? No virtue is tied to the fact that you bring kids to this world. um, Whereas Whereas the union between an older man and that go and seek out a younger boy to mentor and also have sex with is seen as normative, as seen as something everybody does, you know. And like obviously and this doesn't just happen in Rome, in Greece. We see this in dynastic China. We see this in Japan. Pretty much everywhere. There's just this the concept of gay straight is very recent. It's as recent as the as of over the last 100 years, I think, like, right. um and if you look at
Mm.
like Lincoln famously had a very close roommate. uh and then I was just looking at all these old pictures of soldiers, of people from the 1910s and late 1800s. Guys just be super gay. It's insane. They're just nude. You would just see an old photograph of these people just lying next to each other, just nude, like one on top of the other. And for them, that was kind of like, oh, the pinnacle of manhood. That they would
They're
both.
just very confident in their sexuality,
Yeah, I
man.
guess
Like
so.
they just
Yeah,
I guess so. So
a pile of men.
so the point being that we all have some kind of internalized homophobia, which is insane because I have it as well. Most gay people my age would have it because we've had to hide it. And I totally
but is it because
understand.
of society or is it
Pretty
because
much. What isn't it? Like,
biological?
I guess that's what we're trying to get at. It's very complicated because look, if you were saying that, because for the listeners, I was making troll videos of Bernard shipping Bernard and Dan, which is pretty hot, by the way. Subscribe to our Patreon for access. No, I'm just joking. But when you see that, like, you have this
But
instinct.
it's not really a joke.
But you have the instinct that, hey, if this video get out, like, it would be very inconvenient for me, right? Because this information gets out,
Yeah,
it could hurt my
my
chances.
future job prospects. Yeah,
Job or romantic prospects?
job. First of all, job.
Oh,
For
what?
Dan, I was thinking more like, oh, what if his business gets affected by this?
Maybe you're just his business
Because
partner that he's very close to, right? After all, you work with wood.
super close.
uh, but in the same vein, let's compare that experience to a woman. If a girl is, Dan, you can ask your wife, like, if she was mistaken to be like, a lesbian, it in school. Let's say we're still in school. It's just not.
Oh my god, toxic. Kids are toxic, bro.
It is, but it's not the same, right? Like, a boy being discovered, being outed as gay is so much more detrimental than a girl, being outed as a lesbian. And even if we fast forward to college, to university, when we were in university, if you get misidentified as gay by a woman, it feels wrong. It feels bad, right, Dan? Right? Uh
Yeah.
and
Why? Why you say it like that? It's like you're trying to prove like right then, right
no,
then,
because
right? Yeah,
it's
you
happened.
know how it feels.
No, but do you remember the Swedish girl that we had in first year? She thought Dan was gay, and
Yeah, Yona thought I was gay too. Remember?
right. So there's that irk feeling,
Ah,
right?
stop name dropping.
Yeah,
Yeah, but which one?
okay. But in any case, if you're a woman, like, if let's say another girl that has been mistaken out to be lesbian, it does not hurt her romantic prospects, does it? Like, a lot of, like, douchebaggy guys just like, oh, dude, that's hot. It doesn't hurt
Yeah.
as much, right? And it
Mm.
the potential of you being gay, you think, would harm your chances of a woman approaching you, when in fact women just don't approach you to begin with. But yeah, but you have this irrational fear, right? You feel like, oh shit, if word get out, then no, I have no chance with women. But even if this
Not that you had much in the start. Oh.
yeah, because we don't live in a world where women just always approach men, right? Even when we were
Yeah,
growing up,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
still very much the opposite. Whereas if it's a woman experiencing this, she wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, if people think I'm gay, then no men would approach me. They don't have that problem when we were growing up.
Mm.
Maybe, so I don't know. So there's this internalized homophobia specific towards men. That is insane. Like, I don't know.
True, it
How
is
do
like
you
that.
think? How do you think? Do you think the younger generation would resolve this?
I think they'll probably improve the situation.
Yeah.
Because it's
I think the more that it's accepted, the more that we as a society can just be like, hey man, what's the big fucking deal? Like at the end of the day, what's the
mm.
big fucking deal? The straights
Yeah.
should be happy because the gays are reducing competition, if you want to see it that way, right?
Oh,
Um,
you wouldn't even stand a chance. Are you kidding? I listen to women speak. Can you imagine? I can actually
what do you mean?
listen.
Yeah,
I
and then the straights can be happy for the gays too, because now they got an insider.
yeah. Uh, yeah. It's weird. I am semi hopeful because like back then, circa 2016, 2018, it was kind of cool for kids to be neurodivergent, right? Do you remember that era? And then there's
Is
now,
it?
like, I don't know if this ever existed, but apparently it is kind of cool to be trans in like some of the more elite West Coast schools where, because if you think about it, I think the world around us is really changing a lot where you look at a lot of like the internet slangs, they all come from like drag culture, like slay, like clap back, uh you know
Let me feel my oats.
I
I just
love
want to
that.
feel my oats.
Oh my god, that's from Gia Gunn. I love her. She turns out to be trans as well. Um,
I
but
mean, okay.
so yeah, do you guys
They're not
think?
the same, right?
Do you guys think you
Trans and
you
drag.
still have internalized homophobia if you have a son that turns out to be gay? Do you feel like
I don't
it's
want to.
oh,
I want to be able to love my son the way he is,
mm.
without thinking there's anything wrong with him.
But do
I
you
just
think
want him
you?
to be healthy. I just want him to be happy.
But if you're
And
completely
if any,
honest,
huh?
but sorry, if you're like completely honest, do you think you would feel different?
That's what I'm saying. I hope I
Mm.
don't. I don't
Ah,
know,
Dan,
and I
how about
don't
you?
want to feel any different.
Um, Not really sure.
Do you think
I
a part
guess
of you would be a little bit disappointed if he turns out to be gay?
maybe a little bit, but
Mm.
Cancel, cancel.
I really should.
Yeah,
I really shouldn't.
like, Dan's. We need a cancel counter for this podcast.
That's what I was asking. Like, how many? What number is it on now? 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's take a small brief break, and then we'll come back and wrap up the episode.
What? You
Okay.
need a. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're back. Uh, but yeah, do you to finish that point? Like, do you feel like what's the reason for that disappointment? Do you think?
I don't know if it's disappointment, but like I would be more scared about the safety and happiness of my son. Like if he has to,
Mm,
like, I don't want him to be scared. Like, oh, I have to
mm,
live in fear now of being like hunted by the gay haters or the
Yeah,
extremists. Or
that's what I feel as well. I feel like
mm,
for me, it doesn't seem like a problem. I guess I'm straight away jumping to thoughts about how this will affect
mm.
us as a family, meaning like basically haters,
like,
Uh,
fuck
making
it,
our
man.
life
If I
harder.
gotta pop some asses for my boy, I'ma do it. Like I'm a ride or die. That's for sure. But like I can't win against like the whole fucking mafia, right?
mm.
I'm just one guy. I'm not the fucking Punisher, man.
So is the disappointment similar to that of maybe your kid is born with some kind of challenge that would make life very difficult for them, kind of like maybe
Yeah.
let's say a disability. So you're saying
Yeah.
disability is the same as being gay?
Are you saying that being gay is a disability?
I'm
How
glad you
dare you?
said it yourself. I'm happy I didn't have to do it myself.
But look, internalized
Thank
homo.
you, Jamie, for coming to that conclusion on your own.
I cannot be cancelled. I guess I could take a bullet for you. But look, I mean, internalized homophobia could also go another way, right? If you have a 14-year-old daughter who wants to learn how to swim, you have two swim coaches approach you. One is a very good-looking, muscular, very gay, like, floating in the air kind of gay man, versus another dude who's just super jacked and then, equally fit, but is just a straight guy who's single.
But are they respectful to my daughter?
You don't know
Like, are
that.
they gonna have?
But that's the thing, like, you don't know that. But you have a choice between a gay coach and a straight coach with your 14-year-old blossoming daughter. Who would you instinctively
Blossom.
choose?
I would first look at their schedules. Do they have the same schedules?
Yes.
First of all, why can't
I
I
would
know how
choose
to
the
swim?
gay
Why can't
man.
I do? Why can't I
Because
teach my
even
own
if he
kid?
is a
Why do I have to pay money?
because
Yeah.
even if he is a pedophile, he'll like boys, and my
So
daughter is
you'll
safe.
prefer the you'll prefer the gay man. It's the
No,
same
no,
kind
wait,
of.
wait, 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 wait. It's a financial question for me. Like, why do I have to pay them? Why can't I do it myself?
Well, I assume the question is based on the fact that they're virtually the same in all other aspects.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I
Yeah.
would like to be able to teach my own kids as like a family bonding
No, you must
thing.
be a licensed
No,
swimmer. You cannot teach to swim
but
if you don't have a license.
I am a internal pool safety, not safety, like officially licensed to be able to be allowed to like rescue
Let's say it's surfing then.
swimmers.
Your daughter just wants to
You can
surf.
rescue you, but you cannot teach them to swim.
Yeah, but I'm
Mm.
So you
licensed to
throw
be
them
able
in
to
the
teach.
air and like save them, and
That's what my dad did to
keep
me, bro.
keep doing that until they learn to swim.
That's what my
And
dad
then
did
you
to
can
me.
say, I didn't teach them. They learned themselves. I
Legit, that's what my dad did to me, and my mom was very pissed at him when he did that.
think
Oh
it's
my
a bad
god.
way to teach to swim.
But you
Did it?
just throw him in there, and
Yeah. Did it affect the way you swim? You would just say that you
no,
don't swim as
I would say I'm a pretty good swimmer.
okay.
I'm a pretty good swimmer as well, and I learned to swim by drowning.
That's why I win the sperm race.
Wait,
Because
apparently, did you know that you are not the first sperm to enter the egg? You may not be.
No,
Yeah, it could be
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
it's not the first come first serve kind of thing. Like the egg does have the ability to
first
like
come.
first come. That's
Yeah,
so
I
fucking
thought of
stupid.
that too. Yeah.
Mm. But, you see
But
like
yeah, you
this.
were saying, Jamie?
But you see, like this kind of like the homophobia. It could go both ways. I wonder how often we do it on a day-to-day basis.
The
Like,
heterophobia.
dude, in
Okay, so everything is completely the same. It's just
Women
their
are all
sexuality.
yeah,
heterophobic.
I don't think anyone is
Does it fucking
phobic.
matter then? Then
Women
like
are.
which? Okay, so they're both their teaching abilities are also completely the same.
Yeah, it's just it's just you have to make it.
Can I not just fucking flip a coin? Because sometimes that's what I do when I don't know which between two things. I don't know which one I want. I literally flip a coin.
You can. I mean, that means your answer is that it doesn't matter for you.
Yeah. If they're both the same, if like I cannot teach my own kids, and if the scheduling is completely the same, the financial side is completely the same, and
Okay,
they aren't gonna harass my daughter
okay, it seems like you
or
need
take
a.
advantage of her.
Let me paint a more complete scenario for you then, because you have other concerns. Let's say you are with your daughter on a trip to the beach, okay? And there are these. She's 14 years old. She's blossoming. She is horny as fuck. You on the beach, you see these free surfing lessons, beginner surfing lessons for your daughter, and one coach that it's completely free. And you have injured your legs. You cannot teach your daughter how to surf. Okay, you're on
Oh.
the beach, you have a mimosa, you want to sip, right? The weather is perfect. One coach has has like a one of those neckties that gay people have, like she's floating, she's like, "Hello, hey girl." Like he's very flamboyant outwardly. And then
Yeah.
another guy also comes over. He seems nice as well. He's like, "Hey, do you want to surf?" And then right off the bat, right there, and then you need to make a choice. Hey, uh Anissa, let's call your
You know,
daughter
you know, you
Anissa.
know, you know, you know, the first thing that came into my head when you start describing the situation, in
Uh,
my head, I already think like, I don't give a fuck. What
okay.
I'll do is I'll turn to my daughter, I'll turn to Anissa and I'll say, which one do you want to learn from?
Oh, okay. Okay. So Dan's the homophobe.
Like I
Shame.
literally, like in my head, like it doesn't matter. Like what's more important is like, okay, girl, which one you want to learn from?
Okay. Okay.
And I
And she's
hope my
like,
kids are
the
comfortable
game,
enough with me.
Do you
the
think you're
game, man, daddy.
uh
But like I hope my kids are comfortable enough with me that we can talk about like stuff like this without them feeling like they
mhm,
how do I say, without them like feeling like ashamed or stuff, you
mhm.
know.
Okay. In terms of your internalized homophobia, how how accept like what's your upper limit for acceptable male to male contact with your friends? Let's say you're on a beach. Does it feel weird if your buddy from France, who is also very hot, uh, you're both shirtless, you're lying down, on the beach, he lies down next to you, your shoulders are touching. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, that's fine. That's literally what I was experiencing yesterday. We were
It's
by the river, me and my friend. Our shoulders were touching. We were sunbathing. I didn't give a fuck.
Okay, that's
it
I
hot.
depends
think
on the
Dan,
situation.
can
If it's like a
I know what
giant
my
towel,
limit is.
yeah. Okay, what's your
Can I
limit?
say what's my limit?
Yes.
Okay, if they're with their hands like explicitly going for my crotch, I'm not okay with that.
Oh, okay.
Cause like some of my friends, like we play gay chicken,
Uh huh.
and that actually makes me uncomfortable.
Ah, that's one of my favorite
Him
genres.
this guy asking me like, so how much do I gotta pay so I can suck your dick, like that. I laugh at shit like that. Like I
Okay.
laugh at shit like that.
Dan, how about you?
But
Yeah.
and also like if you're gonna like rub your erect crotch on my body like without
Oh
my
God.
permission, that's like, bro, yo, too
Okay.
much, you know,
So
like, hey,
your line is sexual
not
assault,
okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Dan,
I
Dan,
guess
Dan, what
that's the
about
right
you?
word for that.
I think it would be weird if we had a giant towel or like have separate towels, but he's explicitly lies down as close as he can and touches shoulders. I think that would be weird. But if the situation dictates something like that, for
Mhm.
example, we only have one towel, then if there's a non-sexual excuse for that,
Mhm.
then it's fine.
Okay. How about going into the sauna with another man? You guys are both fully naked.
That's fine.
Yeah, who cares? And
Okay.
I hope he
I
doesn't
guess
find it weird
it
if I
doesn't,
pop a
and
boner.
and and if even if it was sexual, it's not that big of a problem. It's just that
Mhm.
if it is, it makes me think that I should just warn him that I'm not gay and like I appreciate the approach, but like I must stop you here because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, like, hey, look, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so that's full respect there. But like, uh,
Mhm.
this ain't happening, man.
But you see,
Yeah, yeah, something along
that's
those
super
lines.
interesting because if the gender is swapped, right? I've never seen or
If
heard
I'm
of
a
any
gay man
account.
and he's
No. If
just
it's a
straight man.
woman and a gay woman, right? If it's a woman and a gay
Uh-huh.
woman, the straight woman would never feel the need to be like, "Hey, I'm straight," unless like she's literally going down on her clit,
Less.
right? But even then, I've heard like a lot
Tits
of
are fine though.
because like the joke is that a lot of
That's
women
like a woman's penis, so it's okay.
like because a lot of a lot of like women have claimed to be bisexual, especially during the university years, because they are more
Yeah, by
comfortable,
curious, by curious,
right? They're more
by curious.
comfortable to like experiment. And based on my
Yeah.
own experiences, that a lot of lesbians tell me that, sorry, a lot of girlies tell me that, they do have superior tongue skills, which makes sense, because
Yeah, but I
you know
told you
what's good.
before that I was also testing my sexuality as a boy.
Mm. You're much younger though.
Remember? And also, I was in a all boys school. So like,
Your body was
what do you
like,
get?
okay, this will have to work.
What do you get when you squeeze a bunch of hormonal teenage boys
Mm.
all together. You don't
right?
give them a chance to meet the other party,
Yeah, and
and they
that
get
brings up
curious, you know.
that brings up like a very interesting topic of institutional gay, which is prison, right? A lot of these people are typically the most straight you could think of, like violent men, uh, that would have committed anything between rape and murder and stuff like that. And yet there is that culture of having a prison bitch, of just blatantly having another man that you penetrate and have sex with, and yet he's not gay. It's the Schrodinger's gay. That is insane. Like,
The
what do you think? Why do you
Schrodinger's
think that is?
gay.
If you end up in prison, right? Do you think you would prefer to have someone to, you know,
There's a marketing line I heard, and which I think of when you mentioned that, which is like everything is about sex except for sex. Sex is about power.
Naha.
And when like in the prison system, I don't think they're doing it well. Maybe some of them are doing it to get their rocks off, but like it's more about the dominance, right? Like I'm the big dog here. I'm the one who fucks. Like
But so how does that explain the kind of homosexuality that occurred during wartime, like especially in World War II, World War One, when soldiers have been held out? They've been held
I
out
mean,
for
it doesn't even have to be there. Like if the today's war with the Russians and
mm,
the Ukrainians,
you know, be-
lots of homosexuality going on there too. Like
because they are kind of far from. They don't have access to brothels. They don't have access to women. And
that's what I was thinking of
yeah, but
actually.
you are
Like a
like
hole's a hole. I take what I can get.
so in that scenario, it's not about power. You don't want to overpower your comrade, whose life who's somebody you trust your life with, right? But that isn't love either. You're not in love with them, right? So why would they then have sex? Which is something that's just so confusing to me, because this is documented
Probably
to
just
have.
venting frustrations because like it's the
Hmm.
sex also is about releasing stress. Maybe I
You
don't
know,
know.
this what this makes me think
Yeah, I'm
of.
confused as well.
It makes me think of the experiment where you put a people in a room and in the center is a red button. If you press that button, you get a little electric jolt. You get buzzed, and then it is a tingle. It is quite painful. But there's nothing else to keep the people entertained. So I'm wondering, like, do you think you could be so bored that you become gay?
So yeah, you press that button
Oh,
to get to feel something, right? Like,
right, yeah. These people
Yeah.
and then you laugh
intentionally,
at each other, getting shocked.
yeah, they,
Like
they intentionally choose to get hurt over being bored and do nothing, right? And,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering that if you put two men or two women on a stranded island long enough, would they, because assuming they both have sexual needs, would they eventually have sex? So,
are they of the same
Uh,
age? Of the same?
yeah,
Are
let's
they
say
of
they're
the
close in age,
grade?
they're I don't, let's say they're not even attracted to each other. Like, given enough
I
time,
guess
because
eventually.
none of us have done that, right?
mm,
Like, when's the last time that you haven't had sex for like decades, or even like just have the freedom to like bust a nut? We
Sorry, like the 20, 30-year-old virgins here are
oh my god.
are like fuck you.
No, because this is pertinent,
Considering
because
they're even listening at all.
but because like there is the whole thing with femboy. Like, is femboy gay? Is it gay to like a femboy? Because you are attracted to the femininity of the boy, right?
yeah.
So is it
Mm,
gay? It's confusing. Sexuality is so confusing. And
mm.
It is.
I feel like today's world, where some people believe that you're born gay or straight, my belief is that you're born nothing. You're not born anything. And I believe that
Yeah,
the environment around
I
you,
believe that
right, like it just
shapes you.
feels odd. And I don't know. Do you feel
Do
like
you
it's
think so?
do you think you're born
Well,
straight
it
or gay?
definitely plays a role.
Do you think
I
there's
feel
a
like there.
genetic component to this? Do you think there is?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think there
The
is.
gay gene. They're putting chemicals in our water that turns the frogs gay.
My God, because
Oh man, that
you know,
guy was a legend.
you know how like by the way, that his channel, Alex Jones, his channel was bought out by Onion. Isn't that the biggest fuck you to him? Do you know the Onion?
Yeah, it is.
The yeah, the
Yeah,
satire. But yeah, back to genetic gay. Do you think there's such a thing, genetically gay person?
I
It
thought so. Yeah,
sounds so. Do you think so?
Mhm.
yeah. I think it's definitely possible, right? Because there is a
Mm.
certain
Mm.
genetic part to it. For everyone, like the sexuality, eh, like the fact that I don't know, boys are attracted to girls. I believe
Mm.
there is a genetic part in it at play,
Are boys attracted to girls?
and so that
What are
means
girls?
any sexual attraction is partly genetic.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know.
right.
I don't think so. I think we have genetic expressions for like, things like, sickle cell disease, that thing, where you could fix with CRISPR. We have genetic expressions for certain traits, the physical traits of our physical appearance, something that's very specific. But when it comes to attraction, it feels it feels it feels like there's not a point in having that, in evolving that, because for the majority of time, for the longest time, people married and have kids, and even before that, when people just had kids, romantic attraction was not needed. The tribe tells you to
Hmm.
mate with this, do it. You know, you don't
Eh,
you don't do it,
I
you get
would
Yeah,
kicked out.
concur. I would actually not concur, but like, what's the opposite of concur?
Uh, 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 uh,
be
Disagree.
occupied.
I would disagree with your
Mm,
point because,
mm,
like, if you think about barbarians, right? They
yeah.
want like the strongest gene. I want my son or my children to be strong, so I want the strongest men.
That's not always true, because we have seen, species like certain shrimps or certain cuttlefish, the males would
I'm talking about barbarian humans. I'm not talking about
yeah, no, I'm trying
fucking
to tell
shrimp.
you that we have accounts of this where it, there is a strategy of where you hide yourself among the female, and if you talk about wolves, the alpha wolves is not the toughest or the strongest. It's the most successful in the pack. It's the one wolf that cares for the pack. And you look at primitive
Yeah,
humans, the most successful human being, male, that gets to mate with a lot of females happens to be the most uh it wouldn't be a barbarian that's like disagreeable all the time, picking fights all the time, right? Because the female isn't just going to let you mount her, right? You do need to have a social standing, you need to be a leader, you need allies, right? If you're successful, everybody loves you, then you do have a greater chance of procreation. Same thing applies to chimps.
yeah.
Same thing applies to other primates, right? And the trait of being successful isn't always about being masculine, strong, like Hulk smash, So I don't know if there is a genetic trait that would make you. Maybe it would make you. I don't know. This is very strange. Like this is a conundrum because that isn't that hasn't that been the biggest scientific question of the 2010s? It's always about like it was kind of homophobic at the point where when you tell people that, oh, there's no such thing as being born gay, right? But in fact, with science, and then fast forward 10 years now, sounds like a weird thing to say, to me at least. It sounds like a very weird thing to say because we have history pointing to people just being kind of most people being just bisexual. Um, and what would be the point of having like let's say if there is a genetic expression for a full gay, based on our best statistics, the prevalence is about 6% in a population. Like what would these 6% of gay people serve as a function in a society?
Oh, well, I'm going to just say some things that I had along the way while you were telling about
Yeah.
all this. Uh, I think that another thing that for me makes my point make more sense is that animals are also sometimes gay, and they don't have a social
Mm.
construct like or
Yeah.
roles. And
Dolphins, lions, they're
well,
pretty
actually,
gay.
dolphins might have a social thing, but even like other animals
Mhm.
are sometimes gay.
And more than that, like some ducks are trios, like they are fully bi. There's a species of ducks that form a trio relationship where two males go out to hunt, and they've just evolved most successfully this way. When you have two males
Mm.
taking care of one
But ducks are
female.
kind of fucked up though.
It is because sex is incredibly painful for them. A duck has
Oh.
a corkscrew like penis, that is, I
With
don't know if,
spikes and shit.
yeah, there's some, I don't know if it's barbed or not. I know that the female hyena has a monstrosity of a vagina, but it's only because the male hyena has such a fucked up penis. And it's kind of, we are kind of lucky genetically and evolutionarily speaking that sex is enjoyable to us. Whereas for a lot of
Mm.
animals, if we feel, even dogs, right? Like my boomer parents, my dad, boomer dad, would liken, would anthropomorphize a dog, would say, hey, like, he wants to get the dog a female bitch, scientifically, bitch,
Mhm.
uh, to procreate, because that somehow the male dog would experience joy out of this, right? Like humans, but that's not true. We don't have proof of that. In fact, we have proof to the contrary, that these hormonal drives often is detrimental in terms of experience to these animals. That they simply lose control, right? When my dog sees a female, he just loses himself and he becomes
I
aggressive.
mean, I'm gonna be real. Sometimes when I see a hot girl, I kind of lose myself for a minute too.
There's like South Park episode where they start fighting over girls. They're like, they become
No,
primitive.
I do not remember this.
It's
I
like
do
that.
not.
I don't know. So I
No, I
guess.
don't. I don't. I don't actually. I was just making a stupid joke. Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any finishing thoughts? Do you think you'll ever stop being homophobes? Internal homophobes?
I I don't want to be an internal
Never.
homophobe for my future son that might be a gay.
You
No, but
know,
if seriously, I hope I am not uh, in any meaningful way homophobe.
Yeah. Like
that's.
recently, I don't know, but the more I live, the more I feel like gender is such a bullshit thing. Like we all want the same thing. Everybody enjoys consensual sex.
Mhm.
Everybody's looking for an emotional connection. Everybody wants to eat good food. Everybody wants to get enough sleep, regardless of gender. Yes, of course, there's the
Yeah.
biological difference, but I feel like if you take that away, like we all want the same thing, regardless of gender.
Mm.
Are you diminishing the female experience? Oh my
Are you
god.
diminishing the male experience? We
No,
are
no.
men.
Uh,
and,
uh,
and and I just hate to see that. Like legit now. I hate to see this like man versus woman
yeah, the
dynamic. It's
gender
like
divide.
stop it, guys. Like, I mean people, stop it. You're
Mhm.
you're you're being so obnoxious and obtuse like uh
But
it's
can
so
you really
stupid. It's
blame
really
them?
just so
Like,
stupid.
if you look at the kids
No, I
now.
don't blame them. I blame, who I blame? I
Mhm.
blame the people in
Mhm.
charge who are orchestrating this to gain something from it.
The transnational capitalists are ruining the world once more.
Gay,
Yeah.
But
gay frogs.
but
No, but there is an agenda.
the whole gay
There
frog
is a
thing
new world
actually
over there.
does have reality to it. The chemical leak to
Most of
the
them,
it
yeah,
it did turn the frogs androgynous and infertile. So in a way, I guess it is making them kind of gay. But the whole point was never about gay frog turning water. It's about chemical leak. That was
yeah,
Alex's point, right? So to that point,
yeah.
he's right.
I
Uh,
mean, there were some other points he's made which has some merit actually.
Yeah, some of the conspiracy theories that he has talked about are about, it's specific to like the Epstein class, right? Like right now it's a fact. We know these transnational capitalists exist. Whereas back then it was unfathomable, for people to think that, oh, somehow the billionaire is not patriotic, that a billionaire wouldn't just move places and become another nationality, which is insane. Like, like I am so sick and tired of the billionaire like worship culture that we have here. Anytime Jensen Huang comes back, oh my god, it's like a deity has descended upon us. The leader of Nvidia, CEO of
Uh,
Nvidia. Right. Like, do you guys also have that? Do you see that in your culture, in your boomers, that they have this, you know, billionaire worship culture?
well, my
Mm,
dad is all about that oil money.
Ah, good old oil money.
uh,
It's very turbulent now with OPEC.
Uh, and I
uh,
think my mom is more grounded. She's more like, I just want you to be healthy and happy and make me children.
It's your mum has said something similar to me. It's always very funny. Like she starts off with very generally acceptable terms, like yeah, yeah, I just want them to be happy, joy. Like we were talking about your sister, and I was just like, oh, so I was like, oh, what
and
do
then
you want?
the
And
demands
then
come in, but then
yeah,
make me children.
kids, because we were dealing with like a fortune teller with your sister, and I got on the
Uh,
call to listen to the guy. But yeah, it's funny. Your mom was like asking about, oh, okay, when to get married and have kids and stuff like that. It was funny. But yeah,
uh,
I don't know. Like coming back to internalized homophobia, like, it sounds like I'm just I'm pointing my fingers at you guys, but gay people my age and older also have a lot of internalized homophobia, right? And there's that self
it's okay,
hatred.
Jamie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Like
mind if you point your finger at me as long as it makes you feel better. I'm
as
your
long as
friend.
as long as I don't how did you put it? Put my erect crotch in your just vicinity, or
Mouth.
like is there a part of your
No,
body that
like that. You can have an erect penis around me. I really don't care about that.
oh
But like,
wow.
what your intentions with with that erect penis? That's the problem.
What if like there's your friend who's gay just having sex with another guy next to you? Is that
I mean, why am I there?
but is that something you would be okay with? Because look, there are guys out there that is totally fine seeing his buddy have sex with another woman next to him, which is weird for me. I feel like
I wouldn't want that. I would be like, can you guys get a room first of all, and secondly, can you do this while I'm not here? Like, why do you have to do it while I'm here?
yeah.
like this whole makes me think about like the whole problem of threesome, when the wife or the girlfriend often would, when she thinks of a threesome, she's hoping for like a super hot guy with her husband that she no longer thinks is attractive, so that there's a third party that turns her on, that joins the threesome, right? But for the husband, it's another totally hot girl right, joining the threesome. So is there
I
internalized
think threesomes.
homophobia here? Would you be okay with another guy? Y you know,
No, not at all. I'm strictly
monogamous.
what
Monogamous.
monogamous, and I think a threesome is the first step to a doomed relationship. You're letting in a
Mm,
factor of complication and a vector of conflict.
yeah. So you have clear
That
boundaries, right? Like no girls, no guys, it doesn't matter, just no threesome to begin with.
yeah, and also no animals, please. I'm also
Oh,
not
dear.
okay with bestiality.
Okay.
No
Uh,
girls, no guys, no other living beings. Toys are all
Dan,
right.
what about you? Is a threesome with another girl more okay with than a guy?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think I've already touched upon this.
Oh.
For me, it's not okay when I'm in a relationship, because I think about it from the perspective, if, for example, it was another guy, I wouldn't be comfortable with, because it's like
Mm,
a competition. I mean, not competition, but like uh, it has the potential to make the other person feel not as desired and stuff like that, right? And in
Yeah.
mm,
general, it feels like a way cheat, but legally,
Mhm.
right? So like
Yeah.
for me, it brings something like that.
Okay,
But
what about this scenario?
wait,
Sorry
wait,
to interrupt.
let me
Okay, okay,
finish.
okay, okay. Sorry.
But if it would be like two girls that I just met or something like that, and and for example they had a fantasy that they want to do that,
Mhm.
that sounds awesome. Like I would like to experience that,
Mhm.
because I don't feel like it will it has the potential to hurt one of them.
But if it's
At
two
least not that
stranger,
much.
but what if it's a two strangers that are a heterosexual couple, a guy and a girl, that wants to experience a threesome with you?
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want that.
There we go.
Okay,
Caught it
I
in the
got two
act.
points to make.
Uh-huh.
I got 2 points
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make. First of all, the first point is it's not. I when it happened to me, it's a weird feeling. Like when one lady was like going at it with her mouth.
Uh-huh.
I was casually talking to the other lady at that moment,
Uh-huh.
and at that point in life, like it just clicked in my head. Like this is a very weird and unusual scenario.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm speaking about shit to one person while I'm getting sucked
Is
off
it
by
a is
another.
it a is it a, is it a threesome or
It was the start of
is it?
one.
All right. So
Yeah.
there was
Mhm.
what is the word? Simultaneous, blah blah, at the same
It's
timeliness of the sexual act with both of them.
Yeah,
what?
Like, did
simultaneously.
you
Yeah.
perform something
Yeah.
something sexual at the same time with both of them?
And that's also I think that experience is also one of the reasons why I'm so against it, because it's
Mhm.
just like
Ah,
I'm already struggling trying to satisfy one person. Now you give me two. The fuck.
true, true.
But
uh,
why is it up to you to
It
satisfy them? Isn't that misogynistic to
it's
say?
because
not.
you're
It's
a
not.
man.
I guess you are right. It
It
is
is.
misogynistic. but
No,
like
Bernard, don't
but like
back
I'm
down.
already overwhelmed here, brother.
Mhm.
Like help a brother out. Like okay, so there's that, right? And then the
Mhm.
second part is like um what if then it's you and your bro, like your homie, with a stranger girl?
Oh, it's a good question. If it's someone you're very close
Yeah.
to, I
Yeah. What don't you wanna
Wow.
like fucking tag team? Let's do it.
oh, oh,
I don't want myself.
the douchebaggery
Uh,
just went over the charts, man.
uh, uh like
But everything is consensual, JV.
Okay,
Is
no,
it
that yeah,
douchebaggery if
I
it's
condone that.
consensual?
I condone that. It's totally fine. But yeah, Dan, would you do it?
I don't think I would like to. It's not about the closeness to the other person. It's just
Hmm.
that I guess I'm not secure enough.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
so two girls are
I feel
fine
like it's about that.
because you feel like you're in competition with the other guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Like
Really? You don't see it as like tag team? Like,
I don't yet fully understand it, but I'm like trying to look at myself from a outside perspective, and I feel
Hmm.
like that's the conclusion that makes the most sense with the limited analysis I
So,
have.
so what is the
I think
competition? Is it your performance, how well you please the woman, or is it penis
Yeah, yeah.
size, or is it
and
body shape, or
Well, actually, maybe that as well. Yeah,
oh,
in
maybe it's a
general, I guess
combination
I'm a
of
very
everything.
envious person, or what would you call it?
Insecure?
insecure, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, Dan. I'll bring a
Huh.
But
bunch of guys with
Something
big
new.
dicks close to you.
I really want to give you a hug, man. Like, it's okay. I think you're not. There's nothing wrong with you. I think it's normal.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I don't. I'm not worried about it.
yeah.
Benny, you make it sound
Thankfully,
like you saw
uh,
it. What do you mean by it's normal?
What?
The
I
insecurity.
mean, like
The
it's
insecurity.
the
Okay, yeah,
fear,
I get
yeah, the insecurity side.
it. Holy shit, man. I guess the only.
Jamie now it sounds envious.
Oh, I
You
wasn't.
Yeah, his
you make
reaction
it
was
sound like
like,
you saw it.
"Yeah, I
Fuck.
didn't. That's not fair."
Man, but yeah, I don't know, like because the only threesome that kind of makes sense to me is like three guys because there's a hole for each person and you can kind of just form like a little Ouroboros snake.
You make a
Yeah,
triangle.
Well, I
exactly.
guess that means you can make a infinite loop. Yeah, I mean, like the amount of people can be infinite. Well,
Yeah.
Then it's still limited by distance. At some point, you don't hear how many more
Yeah.
people are
Like
on
body
the other
parts.
end of
Body parts are
the
still gonna
ace
get in the way.
So,
participant.
so Dan, I'm curious. Wait, if okay, so what if it's two guys that wants a gay threesome with you, where there's no competition at all, and even though you could feel insecure about your body anywhere, you know that
But they're
these,
gay.
yeah, they're gay. They don't care. They like.
Yeah, but they're gay. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Because I'm
It's
What
removing
two
the
was the
guys.
question? I don't
I'm
get it.
removing the insecurity part, and I'm wondering if that makes it different. If
Yeah.
it's, what about if it's two trans women? Let's say two trans women with fully functioning genitals, and they used to be men. They get your insecurity. They've had the male experience, and they don't really care about it. You know, then what then?
That's technically a threesome with two girls. You could play some mind games to turn that into
Yeah.
that.
Okay, wait. As a final,
Problem fixed.
as a final question, then, as a final
Mental
question,
gymnastics, right?
as a final
Yeah,
question,
exactly.
if it's,
Mind gymnastics.
I mean, look, if it's a threesome with one trans woman, like the picture of the person that I just sent you, very feminine, outwardly they perform as a woman, and then there's a femboy, uh, who in every way you feel yourself superior to them, both, let's say, in penis size and manhood or whatever, then if you feel like you could dominate the other guy in terms of your performance, would that make it okay? Because
I
No, but
think
then
I think
but
not.
this is you forgot about Dan's statement of gender at birth.
Hmm.
wait. Don't. Well, I'm gonna say. I think I would still not want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would feel, even if I imagine I would have to, I would
Mm-hmm.
feel more comfortable like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
still wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't be motivated to do it because,
Mm-hmm.
uh, first of all, I'm still not that much interested in it. It's not only about it.
Yeah.
But uh, I like to think that I wouldn't like to put someone in this situation that I don't like. So
Uh-huh.
if I would feel like there's a chance that it makes that person feel like that, it also is a factor in all this, and
Mm-hmm.
it also makes me not want to.
Okay. So
But
isn't
what if it's consensual and they want to? And they specifically state that they want to.
Then it just drops down to the fact that I'm not, for some reason, I'm not that interested in that idea,
Hmm. That's
like
fair enough.
another
Yeah.
man participating.
Yeah.
hmm.
Is it
Uh
homophobia or what is it? I don't know.
I mean, there is
Can't
that
get my
imbalance that,
finger on it.
because there is that imbalance, right? Like two women potentially.
Technically, it's the threesome with two men is the right one because it's harder to satisfy a woman. So you need teamwork to do that.
Right.
But unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable about it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Uh
I'm a greedy, envious fuck.
oh my god. So what about, so is an orgy a pass for the both of you? Multiple women, multiple
No,
men.
no.
So it's not a pass?
Yeah, I think I would I don't think I'd like it, and I think it's about insecurities maybe. Although
Hmm.
maybe I'm a bit more comfortable about it because then I can still have a threesome with two girls while there are just other people that are having sex in the room or something like that.
Exactly.
I guess that makes it better.
No, because I still want that emotional connection. An orgy feels so.
I guess I would have a time of year and like the right mood where my libido is
Hmm.
going nuts,
And,
where
and even
and that
then,
opportunity arises, I could accept it. But I don't
but
think
even then,
it's
won't you
on
just
a regular.
rather?
It's what my. It's not about like for sure. It's not something that I would like to do all the time. I'm just imagining that there are periods in the year where something like that would sound very like
Tempting.
attractive and tempting. Yeah.
But
Mm.
wouldn't then you just have sex with your wife? Because that's my conundrum, right? Like if I'm that bricked up, if I'm that horny, then I'd rather just have sex with my
No.
partner.
I'm looking at all this from the context of I'm not in a relationship.
Okay, fair, fair, fair,
Yeah. So
fair,
so
fair.
so like by fundamentally, Dan, would you then say, uh, to you?
The horny part of me is attracted, but it's not overpowering or
Mm,
anything for me to like, for example, if I'm in a relationship to hurt the other person
yeah.
because of doing that. And in
So
general, I think, yeah, I'm going to stop there.
so if you're all strangers, if you have an opportunity to choose between sex with one woman that you find hot versus two women that you find hot, like which one would you find as the superior choice?
Mm.
I still choose the one.
Oh.
I think so, yeah. I
Hmm.
think so, yeah. Maybe.
Oh, but what if the two women are twins? Oh.
I don't think I have that fetish.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. I think the audience has a sufficient picture of how much of a homophobe you
But
guys are.
would you specifically avoid twins though? Then,
Jamie is ready to make his judgment.
Yeah, I've already cast
but
No,
it.
then
I wouldn't. I think I get why it could be a kink. I think
Mm.
it's a very, very small, like, interesting
I mean,
for
that's
me.
interesting, right? Like, do you think two twin girls, let's say they engage in sex, is that the same kind of sex you would have with a stranger? Do you find them to be the same thing? Because there are accounts of twincest where uh there have been twins that, for example, they play in they're porn actors, for example. They're very often on scene in being filmed while they have sex with another, person, all the while their twin is also present, and sometimes they do engage in sex with one another. And a lot of times, like, these twins would report and say that, well, it doesn't feel like sex to us because there's something unique about that twin connection where,
Mm.
I don't know, like, it's not the same as a romantic sex with
Wow,
another
that's
person. Like, it's not
that must be
comparable.
so trippy.
It
yeah,
is.
but like, but that means also like you will never have that intimacy
Mhm.
with your partner as compared to that twin, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
because the twin has
kind of
the
I imagine,
equal
I
as your
imagine, I,
partner?
I imagine the person is saying like, okay, you know what, you're great and all, but this is nothing compared to my twin.
nothing compared to my brother. Holy fuck, man. Like, and then, like,
But that's also like painful though, because you want
it
to mean
is.
something to
Look,
your
I mean, there are
partner.
real
Yeah.
life example of this where Hunter Biden, his brother Beau Biden, ever since the car crash that killed their sister and their mother, they have been each other's rock, right? They've been super close. They're both straight, but they have been super close. And then Hunter Biden went down like a whole rampage of drugs and addiction and sex with hookers and cocaine and stuff like that after his brother's death. And then later on, he started dating his brother's widow, right? And how much of that is, oh, it's because he's always been into his brother's wife? And how much of that is he wants to feel close to his brother who's dead? Is that gay?
Hmm.
Is that incest?
Is that gay incest?
Yeah, is that incest? Uh, yeah. Do you see how, like, sexuality is so weird and it's
I
so
don't know if
Yeah.
it's
strange?
gay or if it's incest, but I just feel like that's fucked up.
It can be anything
Mhm,
because without knowing what are the actual thoughts, we
mhm.
can't tell. Like we can only just make a guess.
I feel like even the people involved couldn't really elaborate themselves. What about the wife, right? Like, the wife, i- the alternative is to date somebody else, but there is the other choice who is much closer to the husband that you once loved, his brother. You know.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it
But the
kind of sounds
person
weird, but
is
it
not
kind of
close
makes
enough.
sense if it's it happened naturally in the sense that where it's just somebody that she knows very well, and
Hmm.
enough time passes, uh, they suddenly understand that they connect very well, and
Yeah.
I don't think in this way it doesn't sound too bad for me. There is certainly a weird thing to it, but
Mm-hmm.
if it helps two people that truly love each other bring them together, I don't mind it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
kind of
if
don't
it,
mind it.
but if it happens like he died today and next week they're together, then that's more sketch, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Benny, how about you? If let's say your brother-in-law uh oh god.
What
This is a terrible question to ask. Yeah. Well, what if the same thing happens to you? Like the whole Biden story happens to you, and then
if my
assuming
sister dies and
yeah,
then I
assuming your
start?
sister has a wife.
No,
Assuming
no, no. My
assuming your
sister has a
in
brother-in-law. I mean, my
husband. I mean,
husband.
if she has a wife, what if she has a wife who is bisexual, uh, and then you guys are getting very close, you bonded over the loss of your sister. Would you ever?
I don't know.
That's messed
I think
up.
it sounds
It
wrong. I
feels
think it
like a
sounds
very
wrong.
sticky situation, and I don't think
Mm,
it's.
But I can imagine that if enough time passes and
Mm,
you meet up again, it's possible. And
yeah. Uh,
I don't know. It feels like a whole quagmire of judgments and social ostracizing that I don't really feel like I want to step into.
Quagmire as the character from
Family Guy.
Giggity giggity goo.
yeah,
No,
or is
no,
that an actual term? I didn't
the
I
G-
didn't know.
it's like a swamp.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you imagine like a swamp.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know it's a swamp.
Yeah, like it's a very unpleasant and hostile to life.
All right, guys.
What a last name to have.
Quagmire. But yeah, anyway, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I think by the end of this episode, you already found out that Bernard is only as homophobic as if you were to touch him with your erect penis. Sorry, crotch. Not a penis, just a crotch. Uh, and he's not okay with threesome of any kind. Dan is the more Chad, the more strict partner out of all. I think Dan is not okay being in a room with another naked man. If it's a threesome, it has to be strangers, but both women, but both fucking hot, or else no deal. And compared to them, I'm just a saint. I'm okay with anything. So, big way,
Every hole's a goal.
big win for Jamie. No, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. The sexuality is fucking confusing. I guess
Well,
we.
what is a woman?
What is a woman? We need a woman on the podcast to elaborate this. Okay.
Put
And
your
I
opinions in the
mean,
comments.
yeah,
down below.
and we still have Patreon as well if you'd like to visit for the saucy videos that ships Bernard and Dan. Uh,
Oh God.
I call it Ben Dan Romance. Well, it's catchy, isn't it? Ben Dan
Bedtime.
Romance. Okay. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, everyone.